There we go. Done. Okay. Now let me pin. Okay. There. Sorry, I had to fix. My bad. There. It won't let me add the series. I wish it would just let me do that. There. Welcome back. Sorry, it wouldn't let me pin the book because I tried to pin the series, but apparently you can only do that on desktop, which is weird. Can we get that fixed? No, but Kitty Cat asked her really. No. Whoever you are, no. I don't let people up that I don't know. Especially not when I'm talking about dragons. Hello. Yeah, I don't let people up usually on Friday, and I don't know you. I don't know you. But Kitty Cat brought up a really cool question. Apparently there was someone, I'm good. There was someone that did not believe the size of Valyrian in the Conquest. Because it was a post about how big Vhagar is. And they didn't believe, because it was so much before the dance, that Valyrian would be the size of Vhagar in Conquest. So I decided to look that up. Thank you. Thank you, Bree. And what's interesting is that it actually says during the dance that Vhagar had gotten almost as big as Valyrian was during the Conquest. Which means that as big as Vhagar is in House of the Dragon, during the Conquest, Valyrian was a bit larger than that. Like, I don't think people understand that. I think they're probably expecting, like, I don't know, maybe the size of, like, sea smoke, probably. Thank you for the follow. Yes. So I think it's going to be really fun for people to actually see how big, and like he's way bigger than Vhagar and Meraxes. So that's problematic. So I really thought that was a very interesting thing. I don't know how many people are excited for Aegon's Conquest, but I am. Especially since we had such a great series with A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. So I kind of want to talk about that. Well, there's one key. I don't have a British accent. I don't have a British accent. And if somebody played a character in a series, I doubt they would go live on TikTok as that character. Not that I know of. And I'm the Southern Mother of Dragons. That's why it says Southern. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, kind of South. Yeah, definitely. Hey, Leonard, what's up? How many of you guys know what I'm talking about when I say Aegon's Conquest? Any of y'all even know? What kind of people I have in here? Speak up. No, you're fine. Do we have any Game of Thrones people in here at all? Or do you just want to look at something pretty? Bree, I know you. Hello, Rocky, how are you? And by pretty, I'm obviously talking about the dragon. I'm not being vain. The Conquest of Westeros. Thank you, Seth. I mean, or, you know, we can be diplomatic and say uniting. I'm just kidding. So, the book I have pinned down there is one of my favorites. Ooh, Rocky, honey, you can dig into the lore for a long period of time and still have so much to learn. I learn new stuff all the time. All the freaking time. Aww. Bree, that's awesome. Thank you. And I love that. The audiobooks are great. They're so good. So a lot of people actually don't know about this book. If you like anything about House Targaryen or Game of Thrones, this is literally, it's the illustrated history of the Targaryen dynasty. I thought we could look at some pictures. I really like, I love showing this book off. This book, The World of Ice and Fire, and the costume book are my favorites. Oh yeah, Brie, it's great. Like, the audiobooks are really good. They're very well done. Very much. So, people are usually surprised. One thing I do really like to talk about when we're talking about this book is it gives you a much different idea of Dragonstone, which I think is really interesting. Like, look at this. Okay? This is during Aegon's Conquest. You see, you can see, like, look at that. Like, the wall looks... In the show, the walls kind of look like that. And, I mean, like, you know, there's windows or whatever. But, table, pretty close. Throne, completely different. That's Aegon, Rhaenys, and Visenya right there. Interesting, huh? I thought that was pretty cool. So, I mean, the show, like, obviously slightly different, but all in all, pretty close there. But on the outside is where it's very different. Cannibals Vagar son? I guess it's possible. Yeah, limited budget, but by the time we see a lot of Dragonstone, they did really good. They did a good job. Like, I don't have a problem with it at all. It's just a lot more elaborate in the books. So, another thing, the crown, we'll also be talking about House of the Dragon. There's no way not to. So, the Conqueror's crown in House of the Dragon is really bulky. It's not my favorite at all. And thank you, Golden. Most artwork of the Conqueror's crown looks like this. It's more of a circlet with rubies, which I prefer. I don't really understand that clunky thing that's in House of the Dragon. And there's a lot of artwork in here that shows it's different iterations of the Conqueror's crown, but it never looks like what it does on House of the Dragon. Thank you, Golden. Also, does anybody know who this is? Yes, my dragon's pregnant. Brie, will you... Thank you. I don't know where Chris went. Can you get rid of any weirdos? Thank you, man. Anytime you talk about fandom and fantasy, there's always weirdos. Alright, guys. Thank you. So, if you're curious, we're talking about Rise of the Dragon. I have it pinned down there. Alright? Really badass artwork of Valyrian. Which, again, I don't know, guys. I just noticed a lot of things about dragons. If you see this, this is something I've always found really interesting. In certain artwork of Valyrian and Drogon, there's like 2 different layers of teeth, which makes sense. Because it's like a shark. They call them conveyor belt teeth. I actually did a full TikTok about it. So that would mean, because, I mean, they're biting a lot of stuff. When they lose teeth, there's a tooth behind there that's just going to take its place. Again, the more realistic you make the fantasy creature, the more fun it is, and the more you don't get like snapped out of it, which I hate. I hate that. That's why I don't like overuse CGI and stuff. And I think it's actually pretty genius of George to make the dragons as realistic as they are. That's why a lot of people like to argue that they're not dragons, they're wyverns. They're dragons. They're dragons. Are we doing trivia tonight? I mean, I guess we could, but who made the book? Well, now the artwork in the book is made by a lot of different people. But I mean, it's George. And then it's Elio and Linda that I believe, if I'm not wrong, I think those two came from the website. They've known George for a really long time. I think they were like the original like message board people. Some people don't like them. I don't know why though. Hey Jane. So, I wanted to show you guys for a second. Oh, okay. Here, this might appeal to people that enjoyed A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So, I just think this is funny. I just noticed this like earlier when I was flipping through. Everybody loves Lionel Baratheon, right? And you know how he said that Storm's End is boring? Or you know how extra they made him? So, if you, knowing what we know of Lionel, he's very beloved, do you think the Storm's End throne, I mean, you're not really supposed to have a throne, but come on, give me a break. Or the high seat of Storm's End. In House of the Dragon, it was very plain. I was very disappointed. Thank you, Jess. I was very disappointed in Storm's End on House of the Dragon. Thank you, Golden. I really wanted a bit more, I just wanted it to be fancier. House Baratheon is a very wealthy, thank you, Golden, that's very sweet, very prominent house. And in House of the Dragon, it just didn't impress me at all. Thank you, Golden. So, I do like this artwork because if you'll notice, like, his throne, you have the antlers up there, and then obviously the big ass banners and stuff. Like, this is what I think Storm's End would look like. Thank you. Thank you, Golden. Thank you, Jess. Thanks, y'all. Thank you, Foxies. This makes more sense to me. And I think, okay, Brie agrees. Especially since we've met Lionel. Thanks, guys. And we know that he likes large antlers on his crown. These are probably bigger. But I mean, if you were thanks, guys, I really appreciate it. Is that Baratheon? Yes. This is okay, I'm looking at this book, The Rise of the Dragon. It's the illustrated Targaryen history. And yes, this is Storm's End. I mean, like, that's it. I was talking about how House of the Dragon made it just look real plain. So, and this just looks better to me. That looks more Lionel to me. So if we get to see Storm's End, which I would assume we are, I'd like to see the transition into Baratheon. Do y'all know that story? I don't know if you do. Thank you, Foxies. House Baratheon wouldn't exist without House Targaryen, which there are many members of the Baratheon family that seem to forget that. Yes, Bree, especially now that we have Lionel. Now that we have Lionel, it's gonna have to be a lot. A lot of gold and a lot of antlers. Probably antlers on literally everything. Which I'm fine with. That's what I would do. It's Storm's End too. It's a very interesting castle. It's got a very interesting story. I mean, it's one that a lot of people like. Now, I don't know how bright and colorful it would be if Stannis was actually there, but we don't really have to worry about that. God. I had somebody message me that that Stannis is the prince who was promised. Like, I don't think that's ever gonna go away. Like, no, I don't have grandkids. My dragons are obviously not old enough to lay eggs. And don't ask me personal questions. Thank you. God almighty, people are so rude. That's fire and blood. That's I just want to Aries every rude person. Y'all, I gotta tell y'all this. There's a lot of people that don't like women talking about fandom stuff. They hate it. There's a lot of people that feel very uncomfortable when they realize that a female knows something about a fandom. It's a whole thing, I promise. And no matter what anyone says here, the Tolkien fandom is worse. Always know that. Way worse. To be honest, like, I'm not even really looking forward to Rings of Power Season 3 because all that will be back. Okay, so... Alright, now we're at the part in this book here. The Rise of the Dragon. This is artwork of Dragonstone. Now, Dragonstone is described as having gargoyles and lots of dragon like everything in the castle, damn near everything, it's either shaped like a dragon or has a dragon theme, right? Check this out. I bet that's pretty far from what you were thinking it looked like. And no, like, all of this artwork is approved by George. I think that's so cool. If it's glitching, I can't do much about it. It glitched when I started and wouldn't let me pin the book, so it's probably gonna be wonky for a while, y'all. Okay. So before Aegon's conquest, a lot of people think that like Aegon came over and it was immediately Aegon's conquest. No, there's actually the Century of Blood, and we have a really cool picture of Valyrian. Thanks, guys. Thank you for the follows. This is pre-conquest. I just really like the picture. Honestly, there's a lot of artwork that Valyrian has some red. He's all black. But like in artwork, it's really hard to show detail if like it's just this pitch black dragon. You know what I mean? So that's usually why you'll see like red, or you'll see he'll be a little more gray or sometimes green, because like the artist just can't show the detail without it. Thank you for the follow, if that makes sense. Whoever designed the Iron Throne is the GOAT. Maple, let me show you what the Iron Throne in the books actually looks like. Yes, and maybe it's like the sun. Yes, definitely. And then I think I would prefer that just for artwork, you know? Like now when they make the series, I think he's gonna be mostly pitch black. I mean, like, guys, Valyrian is big enough to put a whole city in darkness. Like, I can't like, it literally gives me chills. I'm so dorky about it. I can't tell you how epic that's gonna be. And I have a pretty good feeling about it. Night of the Seven Kingdoms is very good. That's why I want to talk about this and get you guys hyped up. I think we're doing better. I think we're doing better. And a lot of people actually don't know about the lore books, so I thought we would talk about it. I love showing the pictures because I like dragon pictures. All right, so Harrenhal, if you've seen any at all, like it's in House of the Dragon, Harrenhal's in Game of Thrones. It's Melted, the story of Harrenhal. I do too. I love fantasy art too. Not just this, like all kinds. Like, give me a dragon, give me a unicorn, give me a Pegasus, give me whatever. I love it. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jess. So, Um, I want everybody to read these stories. Anyway, so Aegon has Valyrian. Hair in the Black has Harrenhal. Biggest castle ever made. It's a lot of there's a lot of narcissism in Harrenhal, okay? Just to connect this for you, if you watch Game of Thrones, if you remember when Arya was cupbearer for Tywin, and they had that really great dialogue, they were at Harrenhal. If you remember that, if that helps. If you watched House of the Dragon, Harrenhal was where they spent way too much time with Daemon having weird dreams about sleeping with his mom. That was Harrenhal. They don't really look alike, which kind of disappointed me. Thank you. Nah, I'm not. I'm the opposite of Elsa. I don't really like the cold. Um, mm-hmm. Yes, the spooky part. Because a lot of people say that it's haunted or cursed. Harrenhal has a problematic story. Like, so Hair in the Black has it built. It's massive. And it's supposed to be like the most badass castle ever existed. Like, you're not gonna a siege isn't gonna work. It's too tall. It's everything. It costs a lot. The thing is though, when you build a castle, if the only thing you're thinking about is an army on the ground, you're not really gonna think about what you need to think about. No, I don't. What if it's not an army on the ground? What if it's something in the sky? Because Hair in the Black basically told Aegon the Conqueror, no, I'm not going to bend the knee. Leave. Just get out of here. And Aegon was kind of chill about it. Hell, I guess I would be too if I had Valyrian. And that's how we get this. I mean, he said you can't do anything to Harrenhal. He was wrong. He was wrong. That's why it looks melted. Because it is. It's melted with dragon flame. Actually, thank you. I know. Funny little man. Oh, I have this picture framed. This picture is also in one of the calendars. And so I liked it so much I had it framed. Can you see? Like, this is what I was talking about. Like you were saying, like, use the light to show him off. So you can see him right there. But it just gives, like, this castle is massive. Like, it makes it look like this is like Drogon size. Nah, this is a very big dragon. Which Drogon will be that size, but this is big boy. Like, Balerion came from Valyria. Like, he's the only one that has, I mean, I don't know how well dragon memory is, but since he actually returns to Valyria, thank you, either he was drawn to it or he has a memory of it or whatever. We don't know. We know dragons are smart. We don't know how smart, and we don't know how much they remember, but it's probably more than we think. Because I'm not going to tell you what happens when he goes back unless we get to that part, but let's just say it's not any place you would want to go. Okay, so, oh, this is good. This, Brie, this is artwork. This is what we were talking about the other day. Let me see. Okay, so this is one of my favorite stories. So Aegon is, he's going around to all of the different kingdoms, which have, you know, obviously a king or a queen or whatever, because they were independent. And it's not just Aegon. It's called Aegon's Conquest, but his sister wives, they did a lot too. Which is another reason we're excited about the show, because we want to see Rhaenys and Visenya. This is one of my favorites. Brie also loves it too. Okay, so the Targaryen siblings then resumed their separate campaigns. Visenya took flight on Vhagar to the Vale of Arryn in the Eyrie, where Queen Shara and her son, King Ronald, had sought refuge. The castle high on the Giant's Lance proved no barrier to a dragon. However, and Visenya landed unopposed in the castle's courtyard. By the time Shara and her knights arrived, Visenya had the boy king on her knee, begging to fly on her dragon. Shara was forced to submit while her son got his promised flight, circling the Eyrie 3 times on Vhagar's back, taking off as a little king and landing as a little lord. And that is one of, like, our favorite stories because, I mean, what are you gonna do? You go out and it's the courtyard and it's Vhagar. She's not small. And it's Visenya. And so he was a little king and he ended up being a little lord. There's Vhagar. There's Ronald, and that's Visenya. I like the story a lot. So, like, there was no fight, no bloodshed. Just, I know, Brie. Like, just a mom with good sense. And she was like, okay, here, take the crown. Here's some more swords. So at that point, Rhaenys, who has Meraxes, which is another of my favorites. I know I always say that, but that's when Rhaenys turned her attention to Dorne, which is a whole thing. Like, they say the 7 kingdoms, and a Knight of the 7 kingdoms, you know, it's like there's actually 9. Well, Dorne is kind of interesting because Dorne never fully submitted. It's like Dorne does its own thing, but it doesn't complain when they say 7 kingdoms. They're like, fine, you can call us a kingdom, whatever. But it's just very different. It's pretty interesting. Yes, Dorne is independent, but they're like, fine, you can include us. But, like, in all honesty, yeah, we're really not. So, and that's fine. Dorne's very different. If you watch Game of Thrones, everybody loves Oberyn. Everybody loves Oberyn. And you get the it's a great information dump. It's really good. Because you learn that they don't have issue with it's 18 enough, I can say it. Bastard children in Dorne aren't given a name that basically shows that they're a bastard child, like, forever. Like Snow. Like, they don't care. Like, if somebody has the last name Sand, they're not gonna be looked at like John was looked at, if that makes any sense. No one gives a shit in Dorne. Like, if your parents were married or not married, if your last name's Sand, if it's not, they don't give a damn. Kind of like we don't care. Like, it's like, okay, sure, whatever. They don't have a problem with, like, having a paramour or whatever. They also don't treat women as badly. So, like, that's when people start asking me, like, if you were somewhere in the 7 kingdoms, where would you be? I'm like, probably Dorne. I mean, there's not really anywhere else that's it's pretty patriarchal. I mean, even Dorne is, but, like, it's better, if that makes sense. Hello, John. How are you? It's very nice to see you, John. We're just talking our family history. That's the real Jon Snow, in case anybody wants to know. Hello. It is. It's very hot. It's very hot. But I'd rather be someplace that's really hot than someplace really cold, honestly. Yep, heritage. You know, it's a lot. Okay, so here's some interesting artwork of Aegon the Conqueror and the throne. Look at this. This is like young Aegon. And yeah, I should make the joke now. You know, this is before his days in Valyria. I'm just kidding. No, Jon Snow's not overrated. No, Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen are they're two parts of the solution. There's no way that the long night is going to be stopped and the others without both. They are a song of ice and fire. Did I break the wheel yet? Yeah, I did. I broke the wheel and then it didn't get a lot better for me. So I rebuilt the wheel, ran over some people, and I'm back. So, I mean, like, the wheel's fine now because it's mine. You know what I mean? Right? I have to keep my hair right here because, you know, I have a scar. Me and John don't talk about that, though. We don't talk about that. It was Bran's fault. Everyone knows that. Everyone's well aware. Actually, it does amuse me how many people have written really incredible stories and stuff, and Bran's the villain. I like that. Anyway, hey everyone. I'm the Southern Mother of Dragons, and we're going through this book. It's the illustrated history of House Targaryen, which is why I'm showing my banner too. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So, Dorne, to this day, we don't know how Dorne managed to do what they did, but Rhaenys is on Meraxes, and she goes over to Dorne, and they're like, no, hey Liz. They refuse to submit, and then whenever she takes Meraxes, and she's gonna start, like, just burning stuff, they hide repeatedly. It's described as mysterious, so obviously they have some underground passages and stuff, but, like, to this day, like, nobody knows exactly what happened. It's very cool. I mean, like, because it makes sense, because, you know, they're independent, so they're not going to submit. So it's like, all right, burn whatever you want, you're not going to find us. And they're, unfortunately, that's what happens. That's when we lose Meraxes, which that, I'm not looking forward to that at all. But so I don't know how many people, I don't know how many people know about the Conquest and how many people know about what happened in Dorne. So Meraxes is, thank you, Bear Down. Meraxes is unfortunately not alive. Scorpion, which it's not easy to kill a dragon. The show would make you think that it is. It's not. What happens to Rhaegal with the scorpion? The scorpion is like it shoots the big bolts at the dragons. It was a lucky shot and took down Meraxes. Okay, so Rhaenys, so you have Aegon and his sister wives. Most people talk about Visenya. And that's fine. My favorite is Rhaenys, probably because I resonate with that character more. She, how do I say this? She was on her dragon a lot. Her dragon Meraxes, or the other dragon, her husband. So that's just what she liked to do. Okay, free spirit, always on her dragon, all that, right? Hey, look, it's the nicest way I can say it. Look, Brie, I mean, if I'm going to explain who Rhaenys is, I have to. So, most people talk about Visenya because, like, she's this badass warrior and all this stuff. It's not like Rhaenys wasn't doing anything. Like, she was out there, like, trying to kick Doran's ass. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I know. My mods are great. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, I have this thing where I really appreciate that George makes all different kinds of warriors. Like, you know, Brienne of Tarth is not like the typical character that you would see in fantasy a lot. Like, you know, she's very tall, very strong. Thank you. But also, there's kind of been a trend of where you can't be feminine and a small person and also be considered a warrior or a badass. Well, Daenerys is. I'm not very big. I'm 5'2". So I don't think Rhaenys gets enough attention because Rhaenys is usually the one people think of as being more feminine, but she also fights. It's not like her dragon's not kicking ass. And there's even an occasion where, which I can't wait to see this, Meraxes is actually fighting, they're on the ground, fighting an army, which, like, I don't even, okay, if you like Spoils of War, when Daenerys and Drogon, like, fly in and kick the Lannisters' ass after they've gotten all the stuff from Highgarden, okay, if you like that, imagine that, like, I don't know, 4 or 6 times larger, and that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get that. Like, there's probably gonna be, I don't know, like, I don't know how cinematically they're gonna film that, but like, I have a really good feeling it's gonna look badass. Yes, John, it was so good. Hey, Chloe. So if you can imagine, Meraxes pretty big, again. So Meraxes is gray, like a light gray color. And one thing that I like to mention is in a lot of fan art, not, you know, like the official art, but in a lot of fan art, Meraxes is pink because Rhaenys is very feminine and she loves to love. I'll say that. So one thing that I kind of wouldn't mind, because you can take artistic liberty when you're doing an adaptation. They did that with Vhagar. Vhagar's not green. Like, the official Vhagar is bronze with green eyes. But, like, I think it works. I think it's good that they made her green in House of the Dragon. Like, I'm fine with that. Because we have Vermithor who's bronze, you know, like, just for some difference or whatever. But what I would like is, I don't want Meraxes to just be gray. I want Meraxes to have a little flair. So I'm hoping it's a very light gray with some pink wing membranes, which Sunfire has pink wing membranes. So I'm kind of, like, think about it. Like, that would just look cool. Like, a light gray with, like, pink. And then people can start, like, speculating, like, does that mean Sunfire is a descendant of Meraxes? You know? Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Okay, John likes it. Bree likes it. Good. So, I kind of hope that's what happens. If they ask me, I'll tell them that, but, you know. But Rhaenys fights. She's pretty fierce. And, so, unfortunately, she loses Meraxes and Dorne, okay? Oh, thank you, Starterbucks. I appreciate that. Hey, everyone. I'm the Southern Mother Dragons. And right now, we're talking about Aegon's Conquest. And I'm showing pictures from this book. It's the illustrated Targaryen history. It's called Rise of the Dragon. It's a really good book. Mine has notes and highlighted stuff all in it. So, Rhaenys flew her dragon way more than Visenya, way more than Aegon. They were very close. And then she loses Meraxes. And here's the part that not everybody knows about, or we don't know what happened. I'm going to tell you my theory. So, suppose, all right, there's a bunch of theories about this, if Rhaenys survived or not. What we do know is that Aegon gets a scroll, a letter, and he reads it, and he immediately goes to Dragonstone. Immediately. So, what my mind came up with that I believe is the case is I think Rhaenys survived, but I think she was really badly injured. I mean, she fell off her dragon. So I think that she was tended to. And I think because like if you think about that, if you have a really, really close relationship with your dragon and that dragon's just gone, like that emotional connection, everything, like that, I mean, that would just be hell. I can't even imagine. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't even know what to call that, you know? Like, it's not, there's nothing even close to that. Thank you. So I think she was badly injured. And I think she fell in love with someone that was taking care of her. Because, yes, Brie, like a soul link, yes. Because Chris, who's in the chat, we like to talk about how George makes parallels a lot. And, so when Robb Stark is injured, that's when, in the books, that's when he has an oops and sleeps with the girl that is sent in to take care of him. Well, I think something like that happened in Dorne. I think Rhaenys was badly injured and she was being taken care of and she fell in love. So, she's lost her dragon. She's healed, but she's probably, we're looking at probably, if we're lucky, 80%. She's got some battle scars. There's no way she wouldn't. Because, that's a really bad fall. And then this, which I'm quite certain they will include. I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you like House of the Dragon, in the fight, in the fight with Meleys, Vhagar, and then Sunfire. Alright, so the two bigger dragons are battling, then you see Aegon on Sunfire, and Sunfire just is smaller and it's really sad. And has never been in a battle. And Sunfire's badly injured and falls. In the book, in Fire and Blood, Sunfire, even as injured, makes sure that Aegon has a safe place to land with the wing. Like, cradles him. Like, if that doesn't hurt your soul, I don't know what is. Yes, John is correct. If you keep your dragon anywhere, if you don't let them be free, they do not grow like they should. I know, Brie, like that hurts my soul. And I feel like they're going to do that with Meraxes. I feel like that's going to happen. Like if you didn't already like Sunfire, there you go. I wish they would have said something about that in House of the Dragon. Because if you watch the scene, you can tell that's what happened. That's why he's alive, is because the dragon protected him. But, again, they didn't ask me. But I have a feeling that is probably what's going to happen. So, I think Rhaenys falls in love with somebody that's either taking care of her or overseeing the care of her. It might be a prince, who knows. Thank you. And the letter that Aegon receives is from her, and it says, meet me at Dragonstone. So he goes, and I think Rhaenys explains what happened, and she wants to leave Westeros. She doesn't have her dragon anymore. She doesn't feel like the same person, and I think she tells Aegon, we're going to go to Essos or Lys or wherever, and this is my only chance to have a life. Without this, I have nothing. And she's not going to want to be around other dragons. It's going to hurt too bad. So the only way that she's ever going to have any joy or happiness would be a completely different life. And I think that's why Aegon went to Dragonstone. And I think he loved her enough that he wanted her to be happy, even though he was probably pretty heartbroken, and he let her go. And that's what I think happened. So if you like that, yes, I'm a hopeful person, but that's also a realistic type story, you know? Like, I'm not saying it's all like beautiful. It's sad, but to me, that's the only thing that makes sense. Like, why would he go to Dragonstone and he wouldn't talk about it with anybody? Because he didn't want anybody to go look for her. Yeah. Like, Bree knows. We've talked about it before. So, that's what I think happened. And who knows? It's often spoken about how many silver-haired, purple-eyed people are in all different parts of Essos. And who knows? Part of that might be because of Rhaenys. Thank you for the follow. Yes. Yes, you're correct. Yes. A very brutal battle. And, guys, like, okay, another thing that nobody asked for, nobody wants, we don't want Rhaenys and Visenya to be pitted against each other. There's absolutely nothing in the text at all that would lead anyone to believe that they were anything but close. So, like, I really hope that's not some manufactured thing, because after Meraxes is killed in Dorne, what Aegon and Visenya do to Dorne after that, they torch it all. Like, it's literally called the Dragon's Wrath. So, and Visenya's right there on Vhagar. So, there's never been any indication they didn't get along. So, I never want to see that at all. Visenya loved Rhaenys, Rhaenys loved Visenya. They were fine. So, I like to think that that's what happens. I guess we'll see, because it'll have to be addressed. All I want, oh God, I can't wait to show you all this picture. It's one of my favorites of all time. All I want is, I would like to think, since she loses so much, Rhaenys is at least got, you know, a little happiness. Possibly a dream of spring. Okay. This is one of my favorite pictures of all time. I need y'all to know that. Okay, so what we have, this is Aegon the Conqueror's court. They're outside. And looks like in this picture, there's a couple guys that aren't getting along. I would assume somebody has beef with somebody else about some land or whatever. And we have Aegon listening to him, and he's going to tell him, you know, whatever. All right, look at this. All right, see these two right here? These are the two beefing, because you got him pointing, being like, hey, those are my goats. And then this one's like, I don't care, they're my goats. All right, there's Aegon, okay? Okay, do you want to know why this is my favorite? Look, Valyrian is there. You don't even notice. The biggest dragon we know of. He's right there. That's his head. Look at that. I fucking love this picture. If I could have a huge print of this. I just love it so much. Look. Okay, this is why I scream at the top of my lungs and say over and over again, there's absolutely no way Missandei would have been unalived like that with Daenerys not having Drogon. Look at this. Come on now. This is reality. What that was is just crap. Because look how big too. And the rest of him goes back there. I just love this picture. Because you're like, okay, so he's like overseeing some people with some beef. Oh shit. That's a dragon. I love that. I thought y'all liked that. That's probably my favorite picture. It might be my favorite picture in this whole book, honestly. Yeah, I love it, Brie. It's really cool. You wouldn't think you could hide a dragon that big. And then everyone's unbothered, too. They're used to it. I love that, too. Nobody's like... Because, I mean, he's going to go where Aegon goes. Also, he has the circlet on. Again, I don't know where that chunky crown came from. I don't know who designed that, but... Yes, hidden in plain sight. Yeah, I'm a fan. So let's see. I want to show. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Here's something else. Again, hello everyone. I'm the Southern Mother Dragons. We're talking about House Targaryen, and we're looking at this book. It's the illustrated history. There's a hair. There, it's gone. Okay. So, a lot of people don't know about Lannisport. So, obviously, you know who House Lannister is. Am I speculating about season 3? What about it? If you're talking about, like, because I have an outfit on from season 3, no, that's just because I wanted to wear this dress and it matches the dragon. So, Casterly Rock is typically what you talk about when you talk about House Lannister. But there's actually a lesser branch of the Lannisters, and they're in Lannisport. The Tywin Cersei Lannisters look down on the other branch, obviously, because that's what they do. If I'm talking about lore, I can't maintain reading the chat and tell a story. Like, I can't. My ADHD is bad enough. If I stop and read all of the chat, I can't continue to tell these. Hello, Chris. I don't ignore anyone unless you're rude. So, anyway. Lannisters have a lot of money. I mean, it's a damn port, you know? But, we don't get to hear much about it or see it, so I wanted to show y'all this. It's pretty nice. I mean, look at that. That is Lannisport. The lesser Lannisters. Which they're probably nicer anyway. But I thought that was cool. Because a lot of people don't even really know about them. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like a neat little, oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, the whole reason that the Kingsguard exists is because of Visenya. That's another story. So Visenya's trying to tell Aegon you're too accessible. Then why are you in here? Why? I don't know. That might be the first, like, rude about neurodiversity person I've ever had in my chat. If you don't like ADHD and you don't like attractiveness, feel free to leave. Yeah, John, it's bad. Like, honestly, honey, I've been doing this for like over 3 years. It never stops. It's like, that's why it doesn't really bother me, because everything they say I've heard a million times before. People are mean. I think they get bitter because I don't talk to them and they want attention. Honestly, that's usually what it is. Because people don't speak to them in real life. So Visenya's trying to tell Aegon, look, you're too accessible. Somebody could, like, totally hurt you. And he's like, no, I'm fine. So she does a quick little to his cheek. And she's like, see? Told you. And so Aegon, after that, has Kingsguard. Thank you. All right. So, there's a bunch about Maegor. A lot of people talk about Maegor a lot. I'll be honest with you. He's not my favorite. There's a lot of people that find his story very interesting. He's Visenya's son. He's real dark. That's not usually my thing. He hurts a lot of people, forces women into marriage. Not my fave. So that's why, like, you're never gonna have me go live and just talk about Maegor. The only thing he does is, like, he gets rid of the armed faith, which, okay. I don't know, man. I'd rather talk about dragons and cool shit than Maegor. And some people have a problem with that. That's fine. You go talk about Maegor. Yeah, God, yes. Yes. It's not a lot of uplifting. But there's a cool picture. I mean, and that's Maegor. So I'm not gonna skip like a cool dragon picture just because I don't really like Maegor. A lot of people do though, which is totally fine. Alright. Yeah, the Faith Militant. If you remember in Game of Thrones when the High Sparrow is there, it's like that. They're crazy. It's a cult, you know. So you don't really need an armed cult hanging around. You see how well that went for Cersei. Nicholas, honey, sometimes I feel like that when I brood people in the chat. I really do. Okay, so speaking of the throne, here's some great artwork. The throne's actually supposed to be really high. Yeah, you can tell Maegor's real nice. There's a bunch of skulls. But, like, that's him, like sitting up from the throne and walking down a bit. But, okay, also, they say if you get cut on the throne, it's rejecting you. Which you can believe or not. But, like, look at that. It's probably pretty easy to get cut on the throne. I'm just going to go and tell you. And there's tetanus everywhere. Just a lot of tetanus. But yeah. It's literally a throne made out of half-melted swords. So, very sharp. Very. Okay, so, this is Maegor's coronation. Ignore the headless guy. Anyway, you can see again, the Conqueror's crown is shown as a silver circlet with rubies. I'm sorry, I just really hate the Conqueror's crown in House of the Dragon. I just don't like it. Okay. I might talk about that. By the way, hello. I'm the Southern Mother of Dragons, and we're talking about Targaryen history. And I'm showing pictures from this book. It's a very good book. It's not really fun. Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that. Okay, I don't know why. This is amusing to me, though. Like, Maegor's not known to be very nice, but there's a picture of his third wedding in here that looks like... I'm not dogging out the artist at all. I'm not. I couldn't make this. But it looks like the cover of one of those books. You know all those chicks that are obsessed with their spicy books and stuff? And I'm like, why don't y'all just... Never mind. I'm not getting into that. This looks like the cover of one. So if anybody ever wants to do, like, a spicy book about Maegor, just go ahead and use this artwork. Look at this. That's funny as hell to me. I can't help it. That's just hilarious. Look at him. He's like, yeah. Mostly, I think Brie will find that funny. Look, I don't have a problem with spicy books. Read your spicy books, but, you know, I would just... Look, I'm the type of person, like, if you're looking for that, just go find that. But, you know, I'm sorry, like, every once in a while I'll be scrolling my FYP. It happens to Jessica too. And it'll be like this book, and it's like, the alien stepdaddy got me pregnant. And I'm like, or it's like the swamp creature is my stepbrother. You know, I just can't. I think it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Whew. That's just, and I say that, and that, like, something named that will end up coming up on my FYP, and I did it to myself. Yeah, John. Don't worry. The next time I see one of those, I'll send it to you. This is interesting. This is a picture of the High Septon's crown, and I'm a fan of crowns very much. So I always try to remind people that Daenerys actually has a crown. But just in case you want to see. Doesn't look cheap at all. Because the Faith of the Seven and the High Septon, it's based on Catholicism, you know? And I don't think anybody would ever say that the Pope is poor, ever. Yes, Daenerys' crown is very cool. I have 2 versions of it, and I have a ring that's in the shape of her crown. Let's see. Okay, so Maegor and Visenya come to Old Town. So this is actually Balerion and Vhagar. I want to show you this picture of Vhagar. Remember I told you that Vhagar is actually bronze? Vhagar's bronze with green iridescent highlights. If you would like to see what the book version of the dragons looks like, if you'll just subscribe to my bulletin board, I'm going one by one and making pictures of each dragon. What I'm doing, like, is, and I'm enjoying this, just know that. So if the dragon has been seen on screen, I take a picture of that, and then I'm going through multiple changes. So the ending result picture is about 40% show, 60% book. So you can still recognize what dragon it is, but like the color might be different or the shape or whatever. Anyway, I've done, oh God, probably 8 so far, and I'm gonna do every dragon, every one. Also, I'm using that series to kind of tell people some stuff that they may not have known, because what House of the Dragon is, it's about the Targaryen Civil War, and there's a lot of ego and greed. I mean, it's a civil war. And who really pays the ultimate price are the small folk and the dragons. So I'm kind of putting a little bit of information in there, but mostly it's just to show, hey, by the way, this is how they look in the books. So, what, you talking about the bulletin board? If you look at my profile, it's called the Smod Squad. You click on it. That's it. That's all you have to do. You just go to my profile. How many dragons are there? There's a lot. I mean, in House of Dragon alone, I think there's, what, 17? Or will be? So we're talking 17 plus the OG 3, plus I'm going to do Daenerys's. And since I'm enjoying that, like, I can't, it's 15 or so. I don't know. I could count them if I wanted to. But after that, I want to also do some artwork of I'm probably gonna do wyverns. There's wyverns in this world, and there's different types, and they're pretty damn vicious. So I think that's gonna be, I think there's 4 described types of wyverns. Brindle. And then there's like a shadow wyvern, I think a swamp one, and then there's one more. The fact that I remember that, y'all gotta understand, like, the brain only keeps what it wants. But yeah, that's Vhagar. Yet again, though, I like show Vagar. But yeah, that's gonna be like the description. Bronze and green. But see, that would be too much like other dragons, so I think the green's cool. Yeah. Like, they spend a lot of time, a whole lot of time, developing the different looks and the colors and everything and for the dragons and House of the Dragon. I give them credit. I like how different they are. But, so it's a partial picture, but Dreamfire is the dragon that actually lays the 3 eggs that become Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion. We've only seen Dreamfire once in House of the Dragon, and she was protecting, well, it looked like she was protecting a clutch of eggs, which I love Dreamfire. And Quicksilver, we saw that dumbass on House of the Dragon has Quicksilver, doesn't it? No, that's Silverwing. I don't think we've seen Quicksilver. No. Sorry, I really don't like that guy. I really don't. God, I can't stand him. Ugh. That is the most irritating character. He's more irritating, and I'm talking about, oh God, what's his name? The dumbass that almost steps on a dragon egg that I can't stand. Ulf. God, I can't stand him. Oh, Brie. I get that he's supposed to be irritating. You're not supposed to like him. But when you make a character so unlikable, I want to stop watching. Like, it's just too much. Yes, God, the village drunk. Anyway. All right, so this is Quicksilver. Very nice looking dragon. That's Dreamfire. And kind of like that picture with Valyrian. Like, George likes to hide things in plain sight. Dreamfire is the name of the dragon. So Daenerys has a dream that the eggs will hatch if she puts them in fire. Dreamfire. See? It's like, that's why it takes him so long to write stuff, man. Like, every single thing he makes is really layered, and there's theories about, like, he could write 4 words and somebody's gonna do a theory about it. Yeah, Brie agrees with me. That's my little PSA. Hey, let's just be happy for what we have, you know? Just randomly, I just want to show you this. So this is rallying the forces for a battle. It doesn't really matter what battle. I just want to show you this. Most people know I very much like A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. And I visually, I thought it was great. Like, look at this artwork that was made years ago. I don't know how well you can see, but like, there's all different colored tints and stuff, and we have a castle. Like, this was made way before Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, but look at the colors. See the similar colors? I mean, like, it looks, you would think like, oh wow, that looks like a visual, like maybe they drew before. No, it's in this book. But I just wanted to give them credit because they did a really good job. It's a good show. Anyway, hello everyone, how you doing? I'm the Southern Mother of Dragons. We're talking about A Song of Ice and Fire, mostly Targaryens and dragons, and then we're looking at this book. It's an illustrated history of House Targaryen. So, okay. Oh, this is nice. Okay. This is the tunnels of the Red Keep. Okay, I want to show you all that. And then the escape from Dragonstone. Okay, here's another picture of Dragonstone. I don't know how well you'll be able to see. It's kind of dark. Let me see. No, okay. Okay, do you see that scale? There. Do you see that's like a drawbridge right there? Do you see how even the interior of Dragonstone is scaled like a dragon? And look, like, kind of little, maybe toothy, maybe scaly, whatever you want. and then like looks like wing membranes. That it's described like that. I like this picture too. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm always impressed with people that can do stuff like this. It's just pretty. Where am I from? Lots of places. I mean, technically, I guess you could say Dragonstone. Okay, this is a picture of the tunnels of the Red Keep, which is pretty diabolical. This is the only picture I know of that shows the Red Keep like this. It's like they did, you know, when they like slice something in half and show you. That's the Red Keep. See the Targaryen banners? Like, the Red Keep has like endless places to hide and sneak around. And I think Varys is the only one that knows all of them. But yeah. I just thought that was pretty cool. Because, I mean, that's the only artwork I've ever seen that shows that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thank you, everyone. Alright. There's so much. Okay, this is pretty, yeah, this is a good one. I'm trying not to only show you dragon pictures. I'm trying to mix in other stuff too. I swear. Thank you everyone for hanging out and finding this interesting. That makes me happy. Alright. Okay, so Maegor is not very well liked, and he's found unalived. And people don't know why. They don't know why. Like, obviously, because no one liked him and he needed to go, but no one knows exactly who did it. He's found on the throne, and there's a lot of theories about it. Yeah, dragon pictures are the best. So Queen Eleanor found him still on the throne, and he was impaled. Okay, so it's very puzzling, and he's a big guy. He's a big meaty thing, and he's impaled on the twisted blades of the throne. So I don't know who the hell did that. I mean, it's a weird way to go, and he's a weird guy, so it fits. But it's kind of difficult to try to figure out who Maegor, Visenia's son. He's not very nice. They call him Maegor the Cruel. Hey Nick, if you watch House of the Dragon, at some point they reference Rhaenyra the Cruel. Like, they call her Rhaenyra the Cruel because they're comparing her to Maegor the Cruel. No, you're welcome. That's where that comes from. Or if you hear anybody say blah blah the Cruel, it's Maegor. He's not a nice person. Some people really like him, and that's fine. Look, everybody likes different stuff. That's why this fandom is hella great. If you like political intrigue, you got it. If you like fantasy, you got it. If you just like cool stuff, you got it. There's a lot. So some people think the queen had it done, maybe with like a faceless man or something. Or his own Kingsguard might have done it. Like he's not liked at all. At all. Other than his mom. Which makes you wonder, if you're a really unlikable asshole, does the dragon become an asshole, or does the dragon just think, you know what, I'll be glad when this is over because I'm going to outlive this guy? Yeah, things that cross my mind. Anyway. Because, like, what if you're a dragon and, like, you're bonded with somebody really nice and then you get Maegor after that? Are you going like, ah, it sucks, man. So, you can go with what, you know, I might say could have happened. Maybe a dragon snuck in and threw him at the throne and impaled him. I would like you to visualize that, please. Maegor is Visenya's son. Way back. We're talking Conquest. Maybe he saw a mouse, possibly. I kind of like the thought that like a young dragon like comes in and just like hits him with his head. Hey, Maddie. Oh, Maddie, I'm so excited to see the Mandalorian movie. I cannot wait. Also, thanks everybody. I really appreciate it. Why did I burn down King's Landing? Because it was necessary. Maddie, there's a new Grogu coming out. They love to ask me that. It doesn't bother me anymore. Maddie, if you're still in here, there's a new Grogu coming out that send me a message and remind me to show you. It's cute as hell. It's so cute. It's an updated version of one of the ones I have. And he comes with this little satchel. Yes, Maddie. But like, I'll forget by the end of this stream. So just, all you have to do is send me a message that says Grogu. That's it. Because I saw it, I was looking at it last night and I was trying, hey, Smash. I was trying to remember, like, to tell myself, to tell you. Yeah, I tried, just know that. Okay, so, whichever way it happened, thus ended the reign of Maegor, first of his name, who would come to be known as Maegor the Cruel. So his reign lasted, okay, I love this stuff, guys. Get how long his reign lasted, okay? I love George. 6 years and 66 days. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I'm telling you, it's a good. All these books are good. I wouldn't tell you. I know. Isn't that funny? Yep. 6 years and 66 days. All right. So okay. So this is okay. Jaehaerys is proclaimed king after, but it doesn't say which two dragons. I assume this is Valyrian, and I guess, well, Aegon's there, and it looks like that's Visenya. But that's a silver dragon. For whatever reason, it doesn't say, but I guess might be Quicksilver. That dragon almost looks bronze. I don't know. I'm not going to say who that dragon is because I'm not sure. I don't feel 100% confident. Cool dragon. Yes, very big dragon. Which probably means it's... Nah. If that's Quicksilver, that could be Vhagar. Because she's big. So, I'm going to hold off on 100% stating that. I don't want to mislabel a dragon, okay? Aha! The Iron Throne. Told you. Check that out. Now, granted, is this practical for a show? Probably not, but it's pretty tall. Yeah, these steps aren't bad, but there's some other artwork, and it's pretty uneven. It's pretty sketch. Not comfortable. Not at all. Mine's comfortable. I'm just saying. There we go. I'm not showing that. Alright. So... this is a nice one. So, just to kind of show you, I did see some people online, like most people love Lionel from Night of Seven Kingdoms, but I did see some people being like that was kind of ridiculous and it was over the top. Not really. It wasn't over the top. Look at that. Damn, it's trolly tonight. I wonder why. I guess it's because it's Friday the 13th. Okay. There's a couple that are always considered to be some of the best Targaryen rulers. It's Jaehaerys and Alysanne. And I don't want to give any spoilers, so I'm going to be vague. They did a lot of good things, and their dragons, that's Silverwing and Vermithor that are in House of the Dragon. Yeah, I know, Brie. Their story proves that a dragon can have an attachment after the rider is gone. So these two live their lives. This is years and years before House of the Dragon. But I'll just say this. Silverwing and Vermithor stay paired after these two pass away. So just take that however you want. I'm not gonna spoil anything because it's gonna hurt your soul, and I'm not doing that to you. It'll happen within due time. Okay, this is good. Okay, so this gets into the story of Daenerys' eggs, which I get asked about. So we have Queen Rhaena. She's married to this guy, Andrew Farman. And it's implied she's very close with his sister. Like, really close. Thank you. Really close. Like, really close. Okay? And her name is Alyssa. You may hear people talk about Alyssa Farman. Okay? Yeah, like close. So, Alyssa's like a free spirit. You know, doesn't want to be tied down forever. Wants to go do things. Not all Targaryens are close, but they're pretty close. So, at some point, she wants to go do things, and she's getting frustrated. She steals 3 eggs and leaves. That's cool. Okay. So the eggs come from Dreamfire. Like, it's very obvious. Okay, we only have one story in all of anything written about 3 eggs that are stolen and taken to the other continent. Okay? It's obviously Daenerys' eggs. I don't know why people still want to fight me on that. Because House of the Dragon decided to say they were Syrax's eggs, and then later on they had to retract that because it made no sense. They're not Syrax's eggs, they're Dreamfire's. Thank you, Brie. I get highly irritated about that. I don't like Ryan Condal. Everyone knows that. I don't like Sarah Hess, and I'm not a huge fan of House of the Dragon. It is what it is. They're completely off source material, and it's just some kind of fanfic at this point. So, thank you. We have a story about 3 eggs that are stolen, and what happens is they end up in Bravos. So how many other dragon eggs are going to end up there? And it's going to be 3, and time is going to go, and they're going to fossilize. Yeah, they're Daenerys's. That's Gumdrop, by the way. So okay, so a lot of people don't know this. House Lannister has always had dragon envy. Big time. She says hello. They want, hell, they've got Valyrian envy. Targaryen envy. They're obsessed with getting a Valyrian steel sword Even one of them goes off to Valyria to find one. He never comes back. It's not smart. They want dragons really bad, obviously. I mean, who wouldn't? So what's funny is at Casterly Rock, and this is actually Lord Lyman Lannister. Rhaena stayed there for like a hot minute, and they were so obsessed with her eggs, she felt weird and left. There they are. I think that's funny. Like, look, they look sketch. They wanted an egg real bad, and she's like, man, I'm getting out of here. This sucks. They're creepy. Anyway, because Cersei was in love with Daenerys' brother. So the Lannisters always wanted that. Okay. Just because I don't want to, leave anybody out. Here's some artwork of Lord Walton Stark being taken out by a giant. That just looks cool. The giants are cool. I like the giants. I like all interesting things. I mean, that's a bad way to go. What else do we have here? I want to point out stuff that connects to something we've seen. Oh, okay. And I'm looking at the stuff I've highlighted over the years. Alright, so, okay, I know why. Okay, something that, like, not a lot of people know about is, some Targaryens have a superior immune system. Now, the theory is that it's specifically Targaryens that are bonded with a dragon, which is what I believe. Is it everyone? No. But there are stories that lead you to believe that Targaryens, Valyrians, were made to bond with dragons. And if that doesn't happen, then things get wonky. And I personally think, because like every generation, there's less Valyrian DNA. The less there is, the wonkier things are going to get. So, now, she doesn't know this, but, so Daenerys has all these freed people that she's trying to figure out how she's going to feed, and, they start getting sick, which is something that occurred in medieval times when you had a whole bunch of people. It's dysentery is what it is. They don't call it that, but that's what it is. They call it the pale mare. Anyway, Daenerys doesn't know she has a better immune system. She goes down to the people and starts like basically shaming everybody for not helping them and like giving them water and stuff. And these people like it's bad. It's bad. And she's like, well, they're my people. Like, give them water and stuff. It makes everyone feel like an ass. And they're all worried she's going to get sick, and she's not bothered at all. Well, like, that's not the only time that something like that happens. So, okay. So, I don't want to get too far deep in it, but there's a maester. Okay, so there's a lot of weird illnesses that just kind of like happen, and it kind of is like it's like the plague, like, and they'll just call it like the spring sickness. So you kind of get the idea it's like that, which, I mean, people know why those things happen now, but then they don't really know. They usually just like name it after what's going on. It's a spring sickness or whatever. So as the long summer gave way to autumn, Dragonstone became even gloomier. So it's like around the time people get sick. And so a sickness arrived on its shores, marked by red poop and an agonizing cramping in the belly. So the Citadel's aged maester, Culliper, was the first to check out. And it was a lot of people close to the queen that ended up getting sick. So the next maester guessed that the queen and the princess were protected from the illness due to their Valyrian blood, thus repeating the one of the key beliefs of exceptionalism, that the Targaryens were immune to the common illnesses that could trouble and unalive other people. So just do that. Yes, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, I probably can't show that. Oh, this is a good one. This is a very good one. One of the creepiest stories that people bring up a lot is, all right, so I don't know if we'll ever see this on screen. I don't know what show could include it, but I mean, it would be great if we did. All right, so Arya, or you can call her Arya, I don't know. Most people say Arya. There's no right or wrong way to say it. That's another thing. She wanted to take Balerion out and have an adventure. Okay. And it didn't really go well for her. Because, and there's only certain things I could say. It's, I don't even know if I can show this picture. Probably not. So, when they came back, it had been a long time, and Balerion was injured, and the princess was gaunt, like bad, right? And her flesh was burning, and her mind was lost in delirium. All efforts to cool her failed, and she passed away that evening. They burned her the next day and announced she had died of a fever, which is not totally the case. She had actually cooked from the inside, and when they put her in ice water, like worms came out. That's why I'm trying to be vague. And it's thought that they went to Valyria and got into some shit. You know, Balerion's like really big, right? Well, he had, I think it's a 9-foot gash in the side of him. Yes. That's why I'm being vague. Yeah. I think it was 9 feet. Let me see if it says. Okay, so the Septon that's recording this, of course, he's recording it like after the fact. He concluded that Balerion, who was born in Valyria before the Doom, had carried her to the place of his birth, and there the princess had encountered the horrors that led to her passing. Okay, Balerion as well bore the scars of great wounds on his body, so it was more than one. Wounds that had not been present before his disappearance. Soon after, he became the first dragon to reside in the dragon pit. Okay? So, like, what happened? Okay, like, the dragon pit it's not a good thing. Because the dragons can't grow the way they need to. But, like, Balerion was hurt when he was put in there. And then, like, after that, it just kind of becomes a normal thing. Okay, see what Hunt says? I say they nested in a cave and got attacked by the fireworms. That is quite possible. Very possible. Balerion's so big, for something to have like cut him that much. I mean, and we're talking about like going through dragon scale, like hardened dragon scale of a big ass dragon. There's freaky stuff, really, really freaky stuff going on there. Stuff that you don't want to mess with. Just so you know, like, not everybody, like, some people very much appreciate the dragon. So he's hurt, right? So the dragon pit's completed. They put him in there. He's injured. To guard him and the dragons that joined him, 77 men were recruited, forming the Order of the Dragon Keepers, okay? So the Dragon Keepers you see in House of the Dragon, they're not just random people. Like, it's an order. It's an actual order of people that, like, it's like, it's a mystical thing. Does that make sense? Like, it's cool. Like, it's like the Order of Dragon Keepers, you know? Like, it's one of those things that isn't really explained, but it's things that isn't really explained, but it's cooler than it looked. Like, they didn't get enough time on House of the Dragon. Yeah, like, it's like if like Freemasons had something to do with dragons and they were cooler. Yes. Which I would actually like. I would like there to be something that kind of delved into that. I just want the Dragon Keepers to be really damn cool, okay? Like, really cool. Actually, all right, hold on. Give me just a second. One thing, I need to take Gumdrop out really quick. It won't take me long though. So I'm gonna pause, but I'm not leaving, okay? Because she needs to go potty and I can't ignore that because that's my Drogon basically. Let me make sure I can pause this. Yes, I can. I'll be right back, guys.